Hey there, it's Jerome Stone again from Minding the Bedside. In last week's video, we touched on a few things in terms of how to meditate, how you can meditate at work, and how to deal with some of the main obstacles that you may encounter while you're learning to meditate. And that happens whether you've been meditating for a while or even if it's been for just a little while. Now, I received a lot of great feedback from a number of people and a number of questions. So what I'll do is I'll run through two of the questions and we'll incorporate some of that information into how we practice together. One thing is you may occasionally notice that I glance over here and I have some notes right over here that I look at. So just to make sure I'm giving you everything. Now, a number of people asked about whether there's a perfect time of the day to meditate or at least a better one. And that's a great question. I like to practice first thing in the morning when I get up and the last thing before I go to bed. That being said, any time will work. And that's what I like to kind of share with people, as long as you have enough space and are able to be free from distractions, from external distractions, to be able to practice, you know. Now, practicing first thing in the morning is a great way to start off your day. It establishes a presence of mindfulness that you can rely on throughout the day. Practicing before going to bed is also great, and I've been asked if you should use meditation as a way to go to sleep. And generally, actually, that's not what I am suggesting. While it's true that meditation can be a great way to send yourself off into nighty-night land, in fact, what you don't want to do is you don't want to get used to meditating to get yourself to sleep. Because really what we're trying to do is we're really trying to actually remain alert, right? And if we're always just training our mind and training our brain to fall asleep when we meditate, now that's not really going to help us much, is it? Okay, so again, you don't want to go send yourself off into nighty-night land. That's not what it's about. What it's about, and at its heart, meditation is really about the state of non-distraction, right? And I talked about that in last week's video, as well as I've also talked about that in a number of posts. And so really what we're wanting to do is to remain alert and to remain awake. Now, a couple people have asked about pain and how to deal with physical pain. In general, when we start slowing down our mind enough and we start learning to practice meditation, we may notice that we don't really feel comfortable in our body. It's not always comfortable to be meditating. And so what I encourage people to do is just sit and allow everything that arises in the mind as well as also in the body, any sensations, to just be and not really try to get rid of them. That being said, if you have to deal with a chronic pain or something like that, there are ways to work with meditation and work with chronic pain. In fact, what I'm thinking of doing is actually creating a full video about that. So if that's something you'd like me to do, why don't you go ahead and let me know? In general, this isn't boot camp, okay? So it's not about toughing it out. So get yourself comfortable. Sit in a chair that's comfortable, or on a cushion, or on a couch, just any way that keeps you upright, sitting upright and alert, but not that makes you so uncomfortable, okay? So I think that's about all we can really cover today, because what I want to do is just do a short meditation practice with you. We're just going to practice sitting, and I think it's really important to do this in each video, because what we want to do is we want to get used to sitting together, and you want to get used to just doing some meditation practice. So without further ado, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to encourage everyone to sit up straight and take a nice deep breath. And if you're doing this at work, no worries. You can just simply look at your computer screen and no one even has to know that you're meditating, do they? Or if you're at home, then that's fine. But anyway, so we're just going to sit up straight. We're going to keep our eyes open because, as I've talked about before, we really want our eyes to be open when we're meditating, right? Don't we? We don't want to close our eyes, because what does that do? It suggests sleep to our body. And also because what we're trying to do is we're trying to learn to meditate, go about with meditative awareness through everything that we do. And so we're going to have our eyes open. We're going to sit up and relax. And then all we're going to do is we're going to anchor our attention in the breath, in the breathing. Just watching the breath come into and leave the body. See, and there's nothing really to do, is there? Now, should you find that your mind runs off, your attention gets distracted, you start going after thoughts, no worries. Just simply bring yourself kindly back to the breathing. You don't have to get angry at yourself for having been distracted. Simply come back to the breathing. See, there's not really a lot to do, is there? Meditation actually isn't about doing, it's really about being, isn't it? Just not distracted. And once again, if your attention goes off somewhere, no worries. Just bring it back kindly, gently. Just watching the breath as an anchor to your attention. So you aren't watching the breath like real intensely or going, now I'm breathing in, now I'm breathing out. None of that. We're simply watching the breath as a way to anchor our attention because it helps to be an antidote to the distraction we normally experience. Very good. And just drop any kind of method. Just remain in this really nice space. All right, so that's about it. What I'd like from you is please give me feedback. Email me, drop me a note, send me a comment, do whatever. And let me know how these videos are working for you. Are they the right length? Is there content perhaps that you need to have or want to have in them? Whatever you need, please let me know, because I love to hear from you and I love to know that what I'm doing is of benefit to you and of service to you. So until next time, have a very mindful day, mindful week, enjoy and keep practicing.